Most gardens are designed to be replanted every year. Seeds, soil prep, new starts, new effort, again and again. But a smart garden works differently. A smart garden is planted once, and then it produces for years. Some crops can feed you for the next decade from a single planting. This is possible if you choose correctly and manage them properly. After years of growing food, I stopped focusing on short-term plants. I started building what I call a paying garden. Crops that return value season after season with less work each year. Today, I'll show you the plants that grow once and harvest for the next 10 years. This includes vegetables, herbs, and producers most gardeners overlook. And one of them multiplies underground so aggressively that one bed can turn into many. Let's start with the foundation group, the long-life backbone plants. The first category is perennial vegetables, crops that don't need replanting every season. These are the structural earners of a long-term garden. Asparagus is one of the strongest examples. Once established, a bed can produce for 15 to 20 years. The first 2 years require patience. But after that, harvest returns every spring with almost no replanting cost. Rhubarb is another long-term producer. Plant it once, and it can produce thick harvests for a decade or more. It tolerates cold, comes back stronger each year, and expands over time. Artichokes in suitable climates behave the same way. They produce repeatedly from the same crown and often increase yield year by year. These crops reward patience. They are slow starters but long earners. Most gardeners skip them because they want fast results. Experienced growers plant them first because they want lasting returns. Now let's move to plants that don't just return, they multiply. Some plants don't just come back, they expand. These are the quiet compounding assets in a garden. Walking onions are a perfect example. They grow bulbs at the top of their stems, which bend, fall, and replant themselves. One row can slowly become a patch without any extra planting. Jerusalem artichokes produce edible tubers and aggressively multiply underground. Plant once, and you'll likely never need to plant them again. Sometimes you'll need to control them. Horseradish behaves similarly. Leave even a small root piece in the soil, and it returns stronger next season. These crops are resilient, persistent, and generous, but they must be placed wisely so they don't take over beds meant for other plants. Think of these as self-renewing food sources, low maintenance, high persistence. Next comes a category most people underestimate: long-life herbs. Herbs are some of the highest return plants per square foot, especially perennial herbs. Many produce for years with minimal care. Rosemary can produce for a decade in warm climates. Thyme forms expanding mats that return every year. Sage bushes grow larger and more productive over time. Oregano spreads and can be harvested continuously. These herbs reduce grocery spending every single season from one planting. Then there are cut-and-come-again greens. Sorrel produces leafy harvests year after year. Perennial kale varieties can produce across multiple seasons. Some leafy greens regrow repeatedly from the same root base if harvested correctly. The key is harvest method. Never remove the entire plant. Harvest outer growth. Leave the center intact. That turns one planting into dozens of harvests. Now let's move to the highest perceived value producers, the long-term fruiting crops. Berry plants are among the most powerful plant-once food sources. Strawberries send runners and create new plants every season. One bed can triple itself naturally. Blueberry bushes can produce for decades once established. They increase yield as they mature. Raspberry and blackberry canes regenerate yearly from the same root systems and expand outward over time. These are not single-season plants, they are harvest systems. And here is the strategy most gardeners miss. A long-term productive garden is built in layers. Short-term crops give quick wins, medium-term crops give seasonal stability. Long-term crops give compounding returns. If you plant only annuals, you work every year. If you plant perennials, your garden works for you. Start with a few decade producers each season. Add them slowly, place them carefully, maintain them lightly, and over time, your garden stops being an expense and starts becoming a return. Plant once, harvest often. That's how a paying garden is built.